Welcome to Redbeard and the Den of Tools. Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools. And one of the funny things when you're a tool bear is you're often getting comments from people asking you, hey, what do you think about this tool company or that tool company? And one of the things you notice is you'll see these tool companies that start popping up more and more and more. And one of those companies that started to get to a critical mass, if you will, was Tekton Tools. Now, I'd heard of Tekton, not a lot, but I'd seen them around. Mostly, I'd seen them as a company on Amazon selling discount hand tools. And I'll be honest, looking at the name and the for some reason, the font and the way it was marketed on Amazon made me think that this was just another overseas import tool company. I guess I saw it was made in Taiwan, and it just kind of, default kind of went to the back of my mind, Taiwanese discount tool company. But the fact of the matter is that that's not true at all. Okay, well, it's partially true. So I had a bunch of you reach out and say, hey, we want to find out more about this. Can you look into it? So I said, sure, I'll take this on. Let's do a deeper dive on this company. And what I found out really surprised me. First of all, they're not a Chinese company. They're not even Taiwanese. They're based in Michigan. In fact, their parent company, the Michigan Industrial Tool Company, has been around for 40, 50, 60 years, long time. And they did start off importing, cheap Chinese tools. That was kind of their thing, kind of a la Harbor Freight kind of stuff. A lot of smaller tool companies and stuff started like that. Some of them are still around, but they changed their attitude, the way they wanted to do things here in the past 4 or 5 years. And one of the things that caught my eye was they offer a 10% rewards program if you order anything directly from their online store. Now, not from Amazon or some other source, but if you go to Tekton's website and you order something, you get an immediate 10% back in rewards towards your future purchases. That's a nice little discount considering they're already fairly aggressively priced. Then they have this thing. They don't have a lifetime warranty. They have an always guaranteed warranty. Their attitude is, we don't care how you got it, where you bought it. Someone gave it to you, you bought it used, whatever. It's guaranteed. The tool's guaranteed, not you. There's a lot of tool companies out there who tout their lifetime warranties. Big tool companies. Let's be honest, the bear's talking about Snap-on here, who say that there's a lifetime warranty, but it only applies to the original purchaser. If now you may be able to fib a bit and get them to cover a tool, but the fact of the matter is when, the rubber meets the road, they can deny that request if you don't have a receipt. Tekton says, we don't care. And here's the better part. You don't have to take it into a store. You don't have to mail it in. You take a picture of the broken tool, you upload it to their customer service page, and they send you a new one. You gotta like that. And the third thing here, this little triumvirate of power, if you will, is that they offer free shipping on all orders. That's a nice little add-on, from a company store. From Amazon, we all know about Amazon Prime. I'm sure we're all Prime members. It's pretty much required these days. But those three things made me think, maybe I should reconsider this company. Maybe there's more here than meets the bear's eye. And then I also saw they offer a 15% off program for students and trade skill programs. I'm like, okay, these guys have obviously understand who their market is, and it seems like they're serious to address it. So the bear was headed off to the National Hardware Show in Vegas earlier this year, and I got a chance to meet up and talk with some of the Tekton individuals over there and take a look at their entire line of hand tools. And I'll be honest, the bear was pretty impressed. I've seen a lot of tools, a lot of inexpensive tools, a lot of budget tools, and some high-end tools as well. And looking at the stuff they had there, it was really hard to believe that this was the same company that I selling tools so cheaply on Amazon, because the quality of the tools really looked like it was in the same caliber as stuff like SK and Snap-on and Mac and whatnot. Now, you may think that I'm being a fan bear, but you just wait. We're going to show you these tools in the paw, as it were, and you can make your own decisions as to the quality there. So the guys and gals over at Tekton were nice enough to send the bear one of their sets here for evaluation. This is the half-inch drive 6-point. Yeah, I know the bear's a little old school. I prefer the 6. They have 12-point. I like the 6-point sockets. Anyway, 6-point socket and a ratchet set, 84 piece. Now, the thing to consider here is that this is a no-skip set. In SAE, you got 3/8 all the way to 1 5/16. In metric, we go 10 to 32. No skips, no misses, everything you want. On top of that, they also add in a full extension there, an adapter, a wobble piece, a breaker bar, and a 90-tooth quick release ratchet. All in that nice blow molded case. Now, I'll be honest, the bear often has not been a big fan of blow molded cases. But in this case, we're going to make an exception because it's pretty nice. Now, one of the other things is that the 6-point set here is, they use a geometry here. As you can see there in the little corners there where it's rounded. So there's no contact with the corners. It contacts on the flat side of the socket. This means it's not going to round off the corners, supposedly. And, from what I've seen, that's the case. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of the look and feel on these sockets. Now, granted, I've only had a limited time. Had it for about a month here to play around with. And to be honest, in that month, the bear's been, migrating up to our summer place here in Montana's. So I haven't been using it as much as I would like, but I have used it enough that I really can say that the fit and finish on these is excellent. It's hard to believe. It's almost deceptive at the price they sell them at. You think that you're going to be missing out on something, and I'm really not seeing where they're cutting corners. Of course, except in the socket corners where you're supposed to, right? And as I said, it comes with a nice breaker bar. It comes with that 90-tooth ratchet there. And I got to say, it's one of the better ratchet handle designs. Now, not excluding, or I should say excluding those with the comfort grip. I usually like the ones with the knurled grip on it. Believe it or not, Duralast has one of my favorite, at least for feel in the paw. This one is right up there, though. Instead of having a knurled portion, it's got a large indent for like where your index finger is going to rest. It gives you a good grip on the tool. Now, speaking of knurling, all their extensions have knurling on it, though. And, back to that blow molded case real quick. One of the nice little features they added in there is they have these nice little pockets that they put in for parts. Because, when you're using this, you're taking it to the job. You're taking something apart, and you don't want the parts to go walking off. And they make use of that extra space. Normally, where you just see a flat, blank space, they make a nice little indentation in there so you can throw your extra parts in there while you're working. It's those little features, little things that count. But enough about that. Let's take a look at some of these tools, shall we? Okay, enough with my amazing cinematographic skills. Let's take a look at this stuff. So, you get both tall and short sockets here, and you're getting them in your SAE and your metric. The top half of the case has indents so that the sockets will stay in place. The bottom half of the case does not. It's easy to remove them. Here you can see the breaker bar. There's the parts bends I was talking about before. And you can talk about the style of breaker bar if you want. There's the indent for the index finger I was talking about. But this is, as for an all-in-one set, it really does have about everything you're going to need. And here's that 90-tooth quick release pair head socket. I gotta admit, a lot of this is personal choice. I know a lot of people like flex head, and a lot of people don't like the quick release. For me, I really do like it. I like the security on it. I know that when I really lean into a socket that it's going to hold on to it. Here I'm demonstrating how easy to put on, and I'll even show you how it doesn't want to come off, or if you don't press the index, how it won't go on. This is my personal preference when it comes to sockets, so I really like seeing that in the set. Here's the swivel joint we were talking about before. The fit and finish on all of these is really top notch. And there's no way for me in video to express how smoothly that operates. But it really is. It's surprising. I actually had to double check it, make sure it wasn't greased or something. Just a great setup here. And the fit on these, there's no wiggle in it. There's no slop in them. They're all very secure, very snug fits. Also, it helps if you take them off before you put them back. And here I just want to demonstrate how it closes and how it holds in the sockets. I did have one, though I think it was the largest socket in the SAE, that did like to slip out of its indentation, but the rest of it was super secure. Just really surprised how well it all held. Again, there's the one pesky socket that doesn't want to stay in place. All right, well, there you go. That is the Tekton 84-piece hand drive 6-point socket set. And I got to say thanks again to the guys and gals over at Tekton for sending that to Bear to play with. This is just a quick look, definitely not a full review, kind of a first, second impression kind of thing. We're going to be using this for a lot more projects, and I'm going to be touching base again. I'm going to be touching base again over the rest of the year to let you know what the Bear thinks of it, see if it's standing up, and to see if this really is the system that you want to invest in. I'm going to have a link down below in the description, so if you want to look up the set and see what the Bear is talking about, you can. Anyway, I got to say, I've been super impressed with Tekton. You know, in fact, if you get a chance, you should go on their website and see if there is a retailer near you that carries them. If you do, you're in for a treat. Tekton has one of the best retail displays that I've ever seen. And every retailer I've seen that has them has a massive selection of tools. And they're all laid out so nicely. You can get your hands on them and really get a look at the look and feel. And by the way, when I said, you know, they're made in Taiwan, that's this set. They have a significant, and I do mean significant, selection of tools that are actually made in the U.S. All their screwdrivers, their air hoses, a lot of their tools are U.S. made. They do have a small handful of stuff that's made in China, but that is, by contrast, an insignificant amount. You know, the Taiwanese tools, of course, are top-notch, and the U.S.-made tools, I also did get my paws on some of the screwdrivers, so we got a review of that coming up, as well as the ratcheting wrenches. So we're going to be comparing those to a few other brands here in the near future. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for taking a look at these with me. Let me know if you got any questions, comments, especially also if you have any kind of methods of testing. You want to see these put through some torture series, if you will, because I really want to give these things the full rundown and make sure they stand up. So let me know how you want to see them used and abused, and we'll see if we can make that happen. So if you like what you're seeing here in the old den of tools, you like what the Bear's showing you, why don't you consider subscribing and you know, of course, ringing that bell, because YouTube doesn't believe you if you just subscribe. And also, don't forget, why don't you give a big old chomp on that like button. Till next time, why don't you all take care, and as always, shine on.